Many thanks for staying with us on the program. The obvious battle between the executive and the legislature is what we're looking at, the alleged forgery of the National Assembly rules. Mr. Adigba was talking to us about what the implication of this matter is now.
See, so like I was saying, this was a case reported to the police, and of course under Section 4 of the Police Act, the police has got the right to investigate. They've done their investigation and they found that truly something of that nature happened. Now, the Honorable Member was talking about court judgments, you know, but the fact of the matter is the Attorney General was not a party to the suit filed by some senators. There is also no court order from any of these two courts saying to the Attorney General that you cannot investigate a forgery allegation against the two senators. I think we must understand that under our extant law, the Constitution especially, Section 174, the Attorney General has got the power, all right, to enforce the law of this country. And so they must understand that the Attorney General is not necessarily against the National Assembly, except they are saying that by virtue of their membership of the National Assembly, they should enjoy some level of immunity, all right, that takes away
or
the
level
right
of respect.
Well, it's not about respect.
Or separation of powers. Well, the respect of the separation of powers.
But if they're talking about separation of powers, then they also do not have the power to ask the Attorney General to appear before them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But the Attorney General faced them when he was going to his screening.
Yes, but you see,
it's
look,
statutory.
I think we must understand what separation of power is. It does not mean that the arms of government cannot interact with one another.
But does this look like a tit for tat?
Well, I think that's what it's looking like, but this is what I want to say to members of the National Assembly, that the Nigerian people expect much more from this government than what we are seeing, and that the National Assembly members should stop seeing attempt by the government at calling some of their members to account as an attempt to take away the independence of that arm of government. It cannot be. We're talking about a body, all right? And the fact that government is saying one or two members of the National Assembly has got questions to answer does not mean the independence of that body is under siege.
All right, let me quickly, Honorable Tajuddin Yusuf, as we round up now, just in a few seconds, you've heard what Mr. Adigba say, a lawyer, but as it stands now, let's look at the solution. Just wrap it up and tell us, are you going to be looking at a situation of a political solution to this rather than a legal one? Because morally speaking also, the elected officials of this country owes this nation the respect to serve us because of the challenges that we're facing in this country. We need governance, isn't it?
Of a truth, it is very important that our energy is focused on making life better, getting the economy out of the doldrum and making sure that the economy of Nigeria look up in such a way that Nigerian citizenry can enjoy the benefit of good governance. However, I will fail in my responsibility. I do not correct something. My learned friend did allude that the Attorney General was never involved in those suits. In the two suits I mentioned, the Inspector General of Police and Attorney General were the two defendants. They had represented the court, they were part of the proceeding, and the rulings were served on them. So please check your record very well. If you now say that that is not enough for a legal officer in the statute of the Attorney General to look into, get it right. I will not be in support of an attempt to cover up any infraction by anybody in National Assembly. At the same time,
thank you so much.
I think that we must be conscious of the fact that an attempt to make one arm of government look inferior to the other might look good
Honorable Yusuf,
but
we need to allow you.
It might.
Thank you so much. We need to go now. Many thanks for talking to us, Honorable Tajuddin Yusuf, talking to us. Let's quickly move to other issues now. What is happening in Ekiti State, especially the governor of the state, Ayodele Fayose, is not happy at this time because his account has been frozen. And the EFCC says, look, it has the right to do so because what they say, they're investigating. What, again, people will be asking is Is it not a sitting governor who is covered by immunity? Well, this is what the governor had to say. He went to the bank to ask them what exactly this means.
And it's unfortunate that in a democratic setting with constitutional provisions that will happen. And if you recall, it is this same IFRC that was said that they have a travel ban on him, the sitting governor. It is this IFRC's House of Assembly that was invaded. A member was arrested for 18 days. And when you see the trend, you will realize that this trend is no longer investigation. It's just together to me because of my stance on national issues. They have right of investigation. That is very correct. But we say because you want to investigate me, you will go and then I'm being tried. They are still investigating the entire figures. But in my count, as per my count, I will take steps within ambit of the law.
There's an earlier interview we had with Governor Forgery on his reaction to the frozen account of his. Let's allow Mr. Curtis Adiba to give us some legal perspective into this matter. Can a sitting governor who is covered by immunity by our laws have his account frozen by the anti-graft agency? Is it lawful?
It's lawful. Section 34, subsection 1 of the EFCC Act gives them the power to freeze accounts.
Can you prosecute a sitting governor?
No, you cannot. This is different. He's not before any court. And this is a settled law as far as this issue is concerned. The Supreme Court in Ghani, Attorney General of the Federation, says you can't investigate somebody who enjoys immunity, but you cannot put him on trial. All right? Now, let's give an example, for instance, like one of the justices said in that matter. Let us assume that somebody is alleged to have stolen money. The funds were traced to a particular account, all right? And you said the EFCC cannot investigate that funds. What happened if he takes the money away? Where is the evidence tomorrow? So this kind of order, preservative step taken by the EFCC ensures that, one, the evidence is not dissipated, and that is always present to be used in trial. So it's a clear thing. Look, the governor has been talking about Section 308, which says that he has immunity from prosecution, that he cannot be tried for any offense.
The immunity does not cover investigation.
No, the Supreme Court was very clear about that.
But does this look like a political prosecution somewhat? Because that's one of the things he said.
Well, Seun, there are more than 1,000 ways to look at every issue, especially where you want to look at it from the political lens. And I think people will say this.
Okay, just to round it up, what can Mr. Forgery, what is left for him to do now within the ambit of the law? What can he do? Just in a few seconds.
Mr. Forgery can approach the court to say the EFCC does not have the power.
Can he sue? Does he have the power to sue?
Well, let him go and try it. There are cases that says if you cannot be sued, you can also not sue.
Because of the immunity clause.
But let him go to court and try it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Curtis Adiba. Always a pleasure having you.
Thank you, my brother.
We'll dig more into these matters. They are very important for our politics. But then, this is how far we can go on the matter. We'll leave it right now, right here. Thank you so much for being such a great company on the program. And that's our show for tonight. I'm Seun Kimale. Bye for now.